Reddit. Let's not meet. That time I was almost kidnapped in Thailand. This was back in January of 2018. It took me a few years and a little therapy to be able to talk about it. I'm okay now and thought I would share. It's a little long, but buckle up. I was part of a study abroad program in Bangkok, which was awesome for the record. Not long after being there, my fellow students and I went out for a night on the town. After a night of drinking and running amok in Bangkok, we somehow end up in a back alley illegal strip club. Here is where I think it is important to mention that I'm female, and I was the only female in the group that night. I saw things that I will never unsee in the 15 minutes we were there, and it honestly keeps me up at night once in a while. Let's just say that it was pretty obvious the women did not want to be there. Very quickly, I also did not want to be there. About 5 minutes into this really misguided decision, I realized that two guys from my group are talking to a guy in a red polo shirt. Oh man. There are many guys in red polo shirts scattered throughout the room and none of them look very pleasant. One of my buddies, let's call him M, comes back over to me laughing, points back at the red shirt and says, "Hey, he's trying to get me to sell you to him for $10 American, but I keep telling him you're worth more. $10 is the highest he says he will go." I have never noped out of a situation so fast in my entire life, and everyone went with me. I'm an experienced traveler, so I did take the opportunity to use this as a learning experience for Em as to how quickly these situations can go south, and how important it is to be on your guard in a foreign country. I'm thinking he learned his lesson. We all got out safe. No harm, no foul. I admit that I became a little more withdrawn from the group. Everyone went out partying every night. I went to school, occasionally ate out, did some daytime shopping at the markets, or hung out in a high-end spa near the hotel. For like $20-50 American you can get pampered like a queen, and a broke college kid took advantage. 2 other girls joined me on my adventures, and we had a great time overall. Before we were scheduled to return back to the States, my other classmates, okay, it was all them, finally convinced me to go out for a night on the town with them to some strip. People were eating scorpions on a stick. Some dumb girl from Australia who had joined our group took a hit of some gas they were selling on the street and threw up everywhere. People were packed in elbow to elbow, and there was a lot of raid style lights/music. Sensory overload. I figure that I'm with a group of 20 people from the US and Australia. If there was a time to drink and party in a foreign country, this is it. So the drinking started. The party began with drinking. Eventually comes the need for a restroom. So I told them I was going to find one and I would be right back. M chose that moment to be a diva, start hammering back drinks and demanding everyone's attention. I might have been gone 10 minutes, tops. I come back and everyone is gone. I got the story later that the Aussies left and the rest of my group had to chase down M when he ran off in a drunken display for attention. So I walk over to the entrance of the strip where we were dropped off and sit on a picnic table near all the cabs to wait for my group. 2.5 hours goes by. It's almost 1 AM. The street is still packed, and I have seen no one from my group. I'm starting to get a little concerned because I have no idea where we are really. The others had been coming to this strip every night, and it was my first time. Duck. Okay, experienced traveler. I don't even have the address to the hotel written down in English or in Thai, and I don't speak freaking Thai. Luckily I haven't had a drink in 2.5 hours. So I'm pretty stone cold sober at this point. I have been here long enough to know that taking a tuk-tuk, open wheelie cab thing is much cheaper than taking an actual cab, but not long enough to realize that taking a tuk-tuk at 1 AM alone as a female is a bad idea. I show the driver my room key. Oh, the naive child I was. We negotiate a price. I hop in, but he goes in the opposite direction from where our cab came in from to drop us off initially, and we took a highway to get there, but my tuk-tuk driver is on all residential streets. Then, he hits an alley. Okay, I'm on red alert right now. He stops. I'm poised, ready to strike, should I need to, and next to me on my left, a garage door rolls up. One of those rattly pull up / down by hand ones, and a group of men come out. One of who is holding a blue purse. I stuck around just long enough to watch him start walking forward and unzipping said purse as he moved, and I bolted. I barely shook off the tuk-tuk driver, just kept putting one foot in front of the other, crying because I couldn't breathe, and thinking to myself I'm going to die, because I couldn't be bothered to go to a gym. I ran until I saw it. The familiarity of home. A 7-Eleven, in the middle of this Thai neighborhood. I'm hysterical as I come through that door like the Kool-Aid man himself. The cashier starts yelling at me to get out in Thai, and I'm yelling in English that my tuk-tuk driver tried to sell me and I'm not going anywhere. We go at it for a minute or two of me begging him to help me, and this little tiny 4-foot elderly Thai woman comes up to me with an equally tiny grocery cart full of 2-liter bottles of Pepsi. She takes my hand and my room key. She never says a word to me, not a single word. She leads me outside, hails a cab, has a solid 60-second conversation with the driver, and pushes me into the backseat. The scariest part of my entire night though, was that 15-minute cab ride back to my hotel. Not knowing if this little Thai woman had sold me out, or sent me home to safety. The cab driver had to stop and ask for directions about 3 minutes from the hotel, and that was probably the moment I knew this was going to affect me mentally. The ride cost me $10 American, and I tipped him $60, you know, for not selling me into the slave trade. Those guys who partook in the trafficking strip club sound awful. Sorry you had to see that. M sounds like a real asshole. Feel bad for those women. How could you tell they didn't wanna be there out of curiosity? Like, what was the difference from a regular strip club aside from the scary red shirt guys, handlers, or pimps? Some major differences. 1. In America, where I'm from, people don't have sex on stage in a regular strip club. They don't blow out birthday cake candles with their girl parts. They don't pull stings of lead Christmas lights out of themselves for pole dances. They don't shoot darts at balloons from their private places. And they absolutely do not look 100% dead on the inside. In America, they usually at least smile. And the red shirt guys were clearly not Thai or American. Like maybe Russian or Czech. Think Italian Mayfair looking guys but not Italian. Sounds like you ended up in a ping pong show. These are absolute shitholes set up to rip off tourists. If you want to enjoy the go-go bars safely, then stick to Soy Cowboy or Nana Plaza. Wow, that must have been hard to tell and remember. I'm so sorry this happened to you, and also glad that you're safe. I think your story has made it clear to me why I was so on edge in the Philippines. I went on a backpacking tour for 12 awesome days with a group. I had then added on an additional 5 days in another area. It was a packaged add-on, offered by the tour company. I was a solo traveler, also female. While I knew it was an unguided add-on, I didn't realize that I would be completely alone without out-here tour travelers. The tour company had booked a day tour and island hopping tour for me. The thing that really set me on edge was that I was sent on these tours alone, with just the male tour guide. Luckily I had data and was able to be messaging my mom the whole time. Even sending a sneaky pic of the tour guides to her. Not that that would have helped if I was already dead. What happened when you got back? Where were the rest of the group? And what did they have to say about leaving you? I was back at the hotel about 20 minutes before the rest of the group came running and looking for me. They weren't bad people, just inexperienced. A few days before leaving I took the professors, 2 of them, and another student who happened to be one of the professor's daughter, to dinner. I explained to them how bad it could even been. I legit said you were almost the professors who lost a student forever in a foreign country. I was offered counseling services with a priest by the university. Now the school gives students the embassy info on business cards though. Sorry, but you stress so much that you're an experienced traveler, but you go somewhere without knowing how to get back, where that place is, no phone, no map, relying on dumb drunk kids who have let you down before. I think you're confusing experienced with foolish. Damn. You are one lucky girl. Thank you for sharing. Please stomp the like and subscribe. Thank you for your time.